How does that look?
I'm not saying that. You get some sense that there's a handful of stocks.
Look at that. I mean, you could tie that to the market. Bang. Tim Seymour, you have a beautiful mountain range behind you.
I do.
That's looking good, man.
I do. I've kind of got a Rocky Mountain high right now. It's crisp out falls here. I'm getting fired up to maybe even do some skiing. So why do you bring that up? You seem psyched.
No, look at you, because I've been watching. I watch the TV, especially on the weekends. Got the football game. I got my Ranger hockey last night, and then these car commercials, and they mentioned this cat, which I didn't know. I've heard of Pikes Peak actually, but his first name was Zebulon Pike. This week in 1806. He stumbled upon a mountain range that would subsequently be called Pikes Peak. I mean, go figure, right?
Pikes Peak. Hold on a second. So first of all, I'm getting a history lesson that I didn't expect. I'm not sure I need. Pikes Peak is where?
It's in Colorado. You were singing Rocky Mountain High, so I assumed
Rocky Mountain High,
knew,
John Denver.
Yeah, the whole which I happen to love, by the way. But Zebulon is one of those great names. Like, I don't think there are a lot of Zebulons running around these days.
So what is Kia doing with Pikes Peak? I don't understand where we're going with this.
Well, they're filming these great car commercials. They're using Pikes Peak as a backdrop. They have this big ram that sort of gets in the way of the cars in the middle of the commercial. It's a visually beautiful commercial, but I was wondering I wonder if Zeb on his way to Pikes Peak was sort of maybe mining for some gold. And I mentioned that because, Tim, I mean, you're paying attention. Inflation is rampant.
Well, all right, you got there finally. So we're talking about gold and inflation, but somehow we got there. By the way, a Kia is fool's gold. By the way, just let's be clear. If you think a Kia is like a Dodge Ram truck driving up the mountains, it ain't. Inflation, 5-decade highs, and these are scary times because the fiat currency system, as an Italian man, you can appreciate that reference, may be failing finally. And again, the gold standard, which is what it is, right? Again, currencies that are backed against gold don't really exist anymore. And as I say, our dollar, your problem. But anyway, I mean, do you own gold here? Is this? Are you telling me to go out and buy some gold?
I think so. And it's interesting. I think with the advent, if I may use that word, of cryptocurrency, which is now approaching, I think, close to a $3 trillion industry or market cap, whatever you want to, moniker you want to put on it. A lot of people think that that's going to surpass gold, which is currently around an $11 trillion industry or thereabouts in terms of market cap. See what I'm doing there?
It will. It will.
But what I'll say is this. Yes, I think Bitcoin and gold can work in this environment. And finally, for the first time since I think August of last summer, 2020, gold seems to be on its horse again, which, by the way, my sense is Zebulon was riding some horses up to Pikes Peak.
Yeah, and Yukon Cornelius, was truly a miner. By the way, here's where I'm going with this. I think Bitcoin and gold can coexist. In fact, they are twin brothers of different mothers, which was a song by Dan Fogelberg and Tim Weisberg in the late 70s. And I think they can, because they are both backed by something. And so the key to Bitcoin, and reason why Bitcoin is what it is in terms of many reasons, in terms of the decentralized future. But look, there's only so much Bitcoin in the world. There's only so much gold in the world, although I never really understood this, because it seems like there's always gold in them Nar Hills. Gold record, by the way, how many albums did I sell if I have a gold record?
That's a good question. My sense is you had to sell 1 million albums to get a gold record. Is that correct?
I would have thought so too. I would have thought so too. It's only 500,000, bro. I mean, so 1 million is what?
I would imagine it's platinum. Now, you mentioned that because, of course, Leonard Skinner came out with gold and platinum back in the day, which is an album I'll still spin from time to time.
And in fact, if you like gold, you probably like platinum more, because if you think about precious metals, platinum's actually been rallying along with gold. So again, at a time when all people do is talk about cryptocurrencies, the original cryptocurrency, which is gold, is at 5-month highs and starting to make a move. And I tell you what, inflation, it ain't running away from us again, because if you think about the way central bankers have run roughshod on just printing money, I think it's maybe time to go finally buy those bars of gold.
It's interesting, we're mentioning Leonard Skinner, you're mentioning gold, and I'll say to you this: the two most famous Leonard Skinner songs are arguably "Free Bird," which again, we're talking about mountains and ranges, and the other one is "Sweet Home Alabama." I don't have either one of those songs in my Leonard Skinner. Wait for it. Not
Right.
top 10, top 25. Thoughts on that, Tim?
Well, Freebird is one of those songs. It might be the first song I ever played in my high school band in our basement, and it was ugly. And that's what's ruined that song for me. I think it's one of these songs. It's kind of like Stairway to Heaven. It's not really there, but it's actually a pretty good song. And I think it's what happens. I think people kind of forget it. The fact that you even have a top 25 Skinner is, and I would say, I mean, I think most people would. I deal with the top 25 Beatles, the top 25 Stones. I'm not even sure I could name 25 Skinner songs. And for a guy that's born north of the Mason-Dixon line, kind of surprised that you're so fired up on Skinner. Are you fired up on Gold?
I am fired up about gold. I think you're right about this fiat currency. You mentioned fiat in the context of a currency. You can also mention it in the context of what was a pretty cool car in the 70s is probably fallen on hard times now.
Are you offended by that fiat became, known there, if you put those letters together, you can come up with a phrase that's a little bit, it's coming after your countrymen a little bit, and it references a bad car. So
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. I mean,
fix it again, Tony. Fix it again, Tony. Come on. So we actually had a Fiat Spider. We had a Fiat Spider growing up. My dad came home one day and it was a great looking car. It just never ran. It was a little convertible, and it was, he was fired up. He was midlife crisising, although he wasn't even that old. So the fiat currencies relative to Bitcoin, right now, I think you've got a case here where, the world is coming to grips with, are we back in the 70s listening to Dan Fogelberg, or are we here in the 2021s listening to the Jonas Brothers? And I know you're a big Jonas Brothers fan. I mean, I think, which is your currency of choice?
Well, let me tie a bow on this. I think both can work. I think both gold and Bitcoin can work. And just to tie a bow on it, that would make that, wait for it, Tim, because you mentioned this earlier, Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. See the way we're tying this all together? Mountains, gold, Bitcoin, the whole thing in one little bow for you, Tim Seymour.
Dude, we are at the summit right now. It's probably time for us to exit. See you tomorrow night on Reach TV.
Catch us each night, 6 p.m., Reach TV. That's Tim Seymour. I'm Guy Adami. We are
Commercial break.